Earlier we spoke about communication and the devices. Now we have three types of communication. One, types of is Unicast. Casting means what? Sending, giving. Casting. Podcast, webcast. People used to say, casting. Means publishing, sending, giving, broadcast. Broadcast is television, the TV station. What they do, they broadcast. The FM station, what they do, they broadcast. When they broadcast, do they know that Kupsami, Kansami, Ramsami will be watching that? No. They don't know who is going to watch the broadcast. They simply broadcast. Whoever wants, they can see. See the Doordarshan channel, they broadcast the program. When they broadcast, do they know that Kiran is watching this, Anandam is watching this, Ashok is watching this? No, they will not know. They simply send it to everyone. Whoever wants, they can see. They don't know to whom we are sending, but they are sending to everyone who wants it. They are not saying this broadcast is only for Gujarat. They don't say that. Broadcast is for everyone. Whoever gets the signal can see that through their television. That is what broadcast means, sending to many. Likewise, unicast means sending to one particular destination. One-to-one communication is what called as unicast. One-to-one communication. That's called unicast. One-to-one communication is called unicast. There is also another one called multicast. See, you are making call, no? What it is? Unicast. One-to-one. You are calling your friend. Unicast. I am not talking about the group call. I am talking about normal telephone call. One-to-one call. That is what called as unicast. When you do a group call, it is multicast. One to many. But not to everyone. See, in your contact list in cell phone, you may have 100 people. But you form a group with 5 people and you call. It is what called as multicast. When you call that group, you use a group ID. You form a group with a group ID, group name. So you call to the group, all 5 phone will be ringing and all will join the call. Like we have a Google Hangout group. I have many students in the list, but only you are listening, not everyone. Because only you have joined the group. You are the member of the group. This is what called as multicast. Sending to a group, not to everyone, but to a group. Sending to one is what unicast. Sending to a group is called multicast. See, sending to one is what? I am sending something to Kiran. Then that is unicast. Sending to a group, I am sending to all those who belong to 11 to 12 a.m. batch. That is multicast. 11 to 12 a.m. batch has got many, not just Kiran alone. Kiran is one name. 11 to 12 batch student. It also means Kiran, correct? He is one among 11 to 12. So when I say 11 to 12 students, what does it mean? It means only you. Kiran, Ashok, Anandam, and many, and whoever is in this group. 11 to 12, whoever is in this group, they are given another name. Anandam is one name. 11 to 12 is another name for you. 11 to 12 CCNA group. So when I address 11 to 12 CCNA group, you all will be in alert mode. Okay, he's talking to me. Because I only belong to 11 to 12. So you get ready to listen. So there is a special address called multicast address to identify a group. Every device have got an IP address. On top of that, there will be another address to identify to which group they belong to. That's called multicast address. So when any traffic is sent to a multicast address, it will go to all the members of the group. So one to many is what multicast. Finally, broadcast. What is broadcast? We already saw television. It is one to any. It's not to a particular group, it is not to a particular person, it is one to any. One to any is what called as broadcast. There is also one more cast. Any cast. What is any cast? One to the closest. One to the closest. You want to eat pizza, okay? You want to eat pizza. If you will say, go to that pizza shop in Paradise, Hyderabad, then it is unicast. If you'll say, I want to eat pizza, go to any pizza shop which is near to you. That is any cast. Anything that is near. Pizza Hut may be near, Domino's may be near, McDonald's may be near. Whichever is near. You want to eat pizza, that's all. You are asking, buy a pizza. Which pizza? Anything which is closest. That is what called as any cast. Pizza is 1 kilometer away. Pizza is also 100 kilometers away. Pizza is also 5,000 kilometers away. But if you will just use the shop closest, then you call it as any cast. If you only go to London and buy the pizza, then it is unicast. You go to one particular pizza shop. Yeah. So we have unicast, you have multicast, you have broadcast, you have anycast. These are the type of communication we see in networking. You may be sending to everyone. You don't know who are all. Everyone means I don't know how many. I'm just sending. This packet belongs to everyone who receives it. That is what broadcast. Unicast is, this packet belongs to only whose passport number is ABC 12356. Then it is only for one person on earth you will have that passport number. So it's only for him. That's Unicast. See, this through vaccine that we all put because of corona, you all got a number, worldwide you have a number. You don't know that. One day will come, they will tell you, they will reveal you. Universally, you already got a number in UNO. All those who have taken vaccine, their information is already gone to the UNO. You are worldwide noticed. They know your address. They know who is your father, mother. They know your language. They know your phone number. And they have given you a number. And they will one day they will say, this number belongs to you. You need to come to the police station. That is one-to-one communication. They will come straight to your house. Who? The international government. Police. Not the local police. Not the Indian army. The international army will come one day. Talk, talk. You are Aaron, right? You are Jay. Okay. You are under arrest by the UNO government. One world government. So that's the plan behind this corona and this vaccine. They want to bring everyone under one control. Now they got the entire world list of people, their address, everything. Your Aadhaar is connected to the COVID certificate. Through that, your bank is also now known to the UNO. Your bank, your address, how you look, your thumbprint, everything is now known to not the central government, world government. So they can do Unicast at any time to you. There is nothing secret. If you go to Indian Army, they don't allow your cell phone inside, thinking that it will prevent unwanted problem. But they allow all this information to go to international level, your private information. They don't allow cell phone. That is comedy actually. They don't allow your cell phone inside. I used to go and deliver training for Air Force. They allow me after thoroughly checking my background, my ID, and they take my cell phone in the gate itself. They don't allow me inside with my cell phone. And they say it's a security threat. But how do you give everyone's information to UNO? Your phone number, your photo, your thumbprint, your bank detail, everything can be accessed. Not only you in India, they can even access in Congo, also in Benin City, Nigeria. So something is happening, like one world order is already, one government for the entire world is already in place. Background work is going on. Corona is one of that plan to make this happen. You should not know this is happening. You should think that, it's only for corona we are taking vaccine. When the Korea is now under that bondage. Korea was trying to escape, but now somehow they got into the trap. So through networking, they will easily trace you now, one to one. Anyway, let us not go into that story anymore. I have given you maximum what I observed about this corona. It's a planned, well-planned, one world orders agenda. Corona is not just broke in China. Those are all stories, funny stories. Dramas. So in networking, we have all this type of communication: unicast, multicast, broadcast, and anycast. Fine, this is one topic. Do you have any question on what is broadcast or anycast? You can ask me before we move on to the next topic called OSI System Interconnect.
Well, I have a doubt.
Yes, ask me.
In broadcast, it's one to any, it means we can communicate one to one and one to multicast, right?
What did you say?
Broadcast means one to any, right? So we can communicate one to one, like unicast also, and one to many, like multicast.
See, we can do any one of this. You can send to a particular person. You can send to a group of people. You can send to anyone. You don't know who is going to see, but you are sending a traffic saying, whoever wants, you can use it. That is broadcast. You know, if you are, say for example, you are the school principal. Assume you are a school principal, and it is a common assembly in the morning. Everyone is standing in the ground. Attention, stand at ease. Okay. Now the principal talks. When the principal talks, he talks in common. It is for LKG, for UKG, for first standard, for 12th standard, for everyone. The principal says, tomorrow is a holiday. Who is hearing that? Whoever can hear can understand that we don't have school tomorrow. Teachers, security, maintenance, bus driver, school children, first standard, second standard, sixth standard, everyone. Everyone can learn, everyone can understand that tomorrow is a holiday. But did principal tell to watchman? No. Principal told as a broadcast. Principal no need to call and say, watchman, watchman, tomorrow is a holiday. Cleaner, cleaner, tomorrow is a holiday. Sweeper, sweeper, tomorrow is not necessary. When he broadcasts, everyone understands tomorrow is a holiday. The principal need not to say everyone's name one by one and say tomorrow is. That's meaning. Now, the same principal says 12th standard and 10th standard. Because you got public exam, you should come to school tomorrow. What is this? Is it a broadcast? No. Multicast. It's a common assembly. Watchman is there, teachers are there, LKG students are there, 6th. Now she is just talking to a group saying, Tomorrow is a holiday for everyone. And also he continues saying, 10th and 12th, because you got public exam, you should come to school. 10th and 12th is a multicast, talking to a group. And then she continues saying, the school people leader, what it is? Unicast. The school people leader must attend the drill. Something like that. That is unicast. You understand now what is broadcast, unicast and multicast? Please answer. If not, you ask me question again. Ashok, I cannot hear you. You asked me question, I answered you. You're silent. Next is the OSI reference model. OSI stands for Open System Interconnect. Open System Interconnect. Open System Interconnect. See, what is the interconnect? Interconnect is nothing but communication, networking, communication. System means what? Your laptop, routers, switches, servers, all are systems. Open means what? Open means ready to communicate. Please understand this meaning. If you understand this meaning, you will know why we need OSI layer. If you understand the meaning of OSI, you will understand why you need it. All the system can openly interconnect, can openly communicate. What is openly? Without any struggle, without any problem. Open talk. What is open talk? Without hiding anything, without hesitating. It's open talk. OSI is Open System Interconnect. See, me having Windows 10, you having Linux, he is having Mac. We are all able to openly communicate. Openly we are all communicating. All the systems are interconnecting openly without any problem. Not only these operating systems and computers, there are switches here. One may be Cisco switch. There may be a router from Juniper, another company like Cisco. There may be another switch from Huawei. There may be another router from Extreme Network. There may be another switch from 3Com. Regardless of the make, the vendor, the type of operating system, they all communicate very well. It is all because it is open to talk. See, I am speaking. When I speak, you all understand. Because we got one common language, English. A common language, English, is given to us. So we can understand each other. We can openly talk because we are having common language. How many letters are in English alphabet? For me also 26, for you also 26 only. We learned the grammar. Noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, conjunction, interjection, and so on. That's why when I speak you can understand, when you speak I understand. We all got a common language to express our thought. Likewise, even though the operating system is different, Juniper's operating system, Linux operating system, Huawei, all the operating systems and the make, the vendor, everything is different. Even though those are all different, like we are all different, right? Some of us are white and tall and thin, some of us are fat and white and short, some of us are black and white and tall, some of us are fat and thin and smart. Though we have various variation, we got one common language. Because of that we are able to communicate. Likewise, these computers, routers, servers, they are all different device, but still they all got one thing in common. What it is? All these are designed by referring one book called OSI. How do you speak English and I speak English? Because we studied one common grammar, English grammar. We studied English which has got a common grammar. Your English and my English is not different. It's same. Kiran means noun. In English, noun, Kiran is a name of a person. In your grammar also, Kiran is a noun. In my grammar also, Kiran is a noun. So we both understand each other. If in my language, if Kiran is called as adjective, then problem. Because we got one common standard in language. When you speak, I understand. When I speak, you understand. Common standard. That is what OSI. A common standard is defined so that anyone who designs a device like computer or a switch or a router, they all will refer this common document. Using this guideline, they manufacture their device. They develop their software. They develop their operating system by referring into one common guideline. This common guideline is what important for an open system interconnect, for open communication. You need to have one common guideline so that when Windows is telling something, Linux can understand, because they both are developed by referring to one common standard, language, guidelines, book, syllabus. They both can understand each other. See, when you give sambar to one Tamil guy and to one Andhra guy, and one to an Hindi guy, Hindi speaking guy. Tamil guy will clearly say sambar. Andhra guy will say sar. North Indians will say curry. But all three is like Linux, Mac and Windows. Basically, it's a sambar. Basically, it's a liquid with vegetable that you pour to the rice and mix and eat. But you see different name. If someone say dal curry, it means sambar. They have made that sambar with dal. That ingredients is same inside. Only the name is different. Linux, Mac, Windows, they all built with one common ingredients. So when Windows talk, Linux can understand, Mac can understand, Cisco can understand, Juniper can understand, Huawei can understand. Every device can understand because they all have one common standard which is called OSI. The appearance of the device may be different, physical appearance. Your laptop and your computer, are they looking same? No. But both have got one common standard in functioning. They all follow one common standard in operation, which is called as OSI. So, if you tomorrow start a company to manufacture a router, you need to refer this OSI. If you refer this OSI and manufacture your router, everyone will buy your router. Why? Your router can communicate to Juniper, Cisco, Windows operating system, Mac. If you don't refer to that standard, if you will design your own router with your own knowledge, so your routers will only talk to your other routers. It won't talk to Juniper or Cisco because you have your own standard. We should not have our own standard. If you want to go worldwide, we should have some universal standard. That universal standard for the network device is what called as OSI. Universal standard for the network device is what called as OSI. See, lunch, sambar, rice, this is not universal standard. Pizza is a universal standard. Everyone in the world knows pizza. So if you provide lunch as a pizza for anyone, you have a guest from Korea, one from Australia, one from Nigeria, one from Algeria, Iceland, Switzerland, Netherlands, New York. You give pizza, everyone will be happy. But if you give dosa and sambar, they will not like. Because that is not a standard food. Dosa and sambar is not a standard food. Pizza, burger is like English, standard. English is a standard language, international language. Pizza, burger are international food. Likewise, OSI is an international rules for developing a network device. Only then your network device can communicate and the other device can understand what your network device says. To understand what other network device says, to understand what this says, there is need for a common language. That common language is what called as OSI. Did you understand why do we need OSI? No answer. Open System Interconnect provides open standard. Any question on OSI? Introduction to OSI. I just told you why OSI. Is there any question? Who designed this OSI model? Do you think an Indian would have given this? No way. Do you think an American would have given this? Even though if it is yes, they will not agree. They will not say, no, we did not give this. They will say, ISO standard only gave this. But who is there inside ISO? So, ISO is the one who provides standard. It's the standardization organization. Industry Standardization Organization. They are the one who set standard. Even it's the same ISO who has set standard for soap, who has set standard for hotels. ISO standard. You might have seen ISO certified. It's the same ISO who has prescribed a standard for developing network device, which is OSI. See, it's easy to remember. This is OSI, this is ISO. Almost the same word, ISO. Reverse of this. But the meaning is different. This is Industry Standardization Organization. This is Open System Interconnect. Yep. Right. What is next? Any other question? Please ask me if you have any question. So this OSI is a book that everyone should refer. So we can call it as a reference model. A model to be referred. I have seen some videos. People in Pakistan are very hardworking people. Very hardworking, I'll tell you. If you give one product, they will give you exact duplicate of it. And that too in a cheaper price. I appreciate that. Instead of buying by giving big money from USA, from here and there, they can give you same quality, same ditto for cheaper price. That is definitely helping our people, right? That's why I say they are very intelligent. Likewise. This is the original copy, OSI. Using this, you need to create duplication. Cisco, Juniper, they all have taken duplicate of this one. They have referred this as a model to create their own device. See, Linux is one platform, a shell operating system. But using Linux, there are a lot of operating system. SUSE, Linux, SUSE, Linux, Red Hat, Linux, Samba, Linux, Ubuntu. But basically it is Linux is the reference they all used. An open standard operating system called Linux. So the name for OSI is also a reference mode. You can also call this a reference mode, OSI reference model. So this OSI reference model has given 7 layers. Again, for you and me to understand, they have put it in a layer format. Actually, it's a 7 steps need to be followed. You are a manufacturer of a laptop, you need to follow that 7 steps. Are you a manufacturer of an operating system? You need to follow the 7 steps. Are you a manufacturer of a switch or a router or a firewall? You need to follow the 7 steps. Whether you design an operating system or a hardware, you have to follow the 7 steps. So those 7 steps are as follows. First is step number 7, application layer. This will describe how an application need to be and so on. Layer 6, presentation layer. Step 5, session layer. Layer 4, transport layer. Layer 3, network layer. Layer 2, data link layer. Layer 1, physical layer. You see, we have these 7 layers, 7 steps in preparation. For example, if you are sending a packet and if you want your packet to be understood by my laptop, you need to prepare your data, the packet, the data you want to send with the 7 different preparation. If one is missing also, the packet cannot reach me. Sometimes it may reach me, I will not understand the meaning of what you sent. So, for example, you are sending a letter to your friend in New Jersey. From India you are sending to US. And your friend is not from India. Your friend is not from India. He don't speak any Indian language. So what is the first thing? You need to write in English language. That is what called as presentation. Presenting so that presenting in a language so that he will understand. Application layer is the one, like you take a paper, a neat paper, which is accepted in the postal department. Will you take one if you want to send a letter, you cannot take a cloth and start writing letter in a cloth. It need to be in a paper. The application, the right application you should use. And then you need to write it in Telugu language. Is it true? No. If you write in Telugu language, then the receiver may receive the letter but he cannot understand. So you need to present it in such a way that when a receiver receives it, he can understand. Next is session. Timing is very important. You cannot send this in the midnight. Midnight, no post office. So you should go early in the morning, maybe 10 o'clock, and hand over the letter to the post office. So that's a time, session, time you set. Transport layer. If the letter is too big, they ask you to fold it nicely and put it in a cover which is specifically in size. You cannot take one jute bag and send a letter. You cannot take one plastic cover and say, send it. You cannot do that. There is a specification in the size of the envelope. You need to buy that envelope only. If you are sending international level letter, see, nowadays everyone is using email. But in those days, I have done this. If I want to send to foreign country, I used to buy an envelope which is accepted in that country. So they used to, in post office, they used to sell envelope for European countries, envelope for Middle East countries, envelope for Western countries. There will be some specific color and size. You need to buy only that cover and put your letter in it. Otherwise they won't accept it. Post office won't accept. If you want the post office to transport your letter from here to US, you need to follow that guideline. Likewise, in networking also we have guidelines. What should be the size of the packet? If your letter is too big, then they will make it as two separate letters. You need to send the first 10 page in one letter, another 10 page in another envelope. Because it's too heavy, they will not send one heavy package. Because the standard don't accept. The transport standard don't accept. Likewise, here also if you have a big amount of data to send, according to the capacity of the media, it's going to cut it into multiple pieces and transport layer. That's why it is called transport layer. Also there is something called speed post, speed post, normal post, registered post. Likewise here also we have connection oriented, connectionless, UDP, TCP and so on. And then in the envelope you need to write the country where it needs to go. So you need to buy the country stamp, not Indian stamp. You need to buy the US stamp. So by seeing the stamp they will know which country it belonged to, which network it belonged to. And then in that country which door number, data link, MAC address. And then it is kept inside a post bag and they put it into the aeroplane which goes to US, the cargo plane. Physical layer goes through the wire. See, for a data to go out from a device, this steps needed to be followed. All these steps need to be followed. Only then the packet will be eligible, understood by the receiving device. Otherwise, they don't accept it or understand it. So OSI is a reference model which is describing the steps in preparing the data so the data can be sent and accepted in the internet by the receiver. This 7 layer you should know in order, not shuffled, in order, proper order. Layer 3 is not session layer. Layer 3 is always network layer. You should not start one here. That is wrong. If you do that, then it is not standard. If you simply shuffle it, then it is not standard. Standard means you have to strictly follow. It needs to be exactly the same order. Then only it will be called a standard. Alright. So about this OSI is what we are going to see in coming day class, tomorrow's class. We are going to see in depth OSI reference model in depth. Right. So we stop here today. Tomorrow